Can someone please help me make sense of this? I've been receiving food stamps for the last 7 years consistently. I just received a letter in the mail telling me that I now have to do community service hours at least 15 hours a week. I have to take out of my time things that I do every day to do community service so that I can still continue to receive the benefits that I receive. Mind you, I am receiving the maximum benefit. I get $2,000 in food stamps a month. But that is only because I have 3 kids. Now, how do they expect me to be able to do community service hours if I can't even get a regular job? So I'm at risk of losing my food stamp benefits because I'm not putting in effort. Are you serious?
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay, I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country. Because I'm not dealing with this no more. This is all shit.
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of the food stamp office, okay? Okay, hang on. Before I get myself worked up, I just came here to talk about how I went from literally $1,700 in food stamps for a family of 3, okay? I don't work. I stay home every day. I'm not able to work, so I should be getting the maximum amount. Especially because he needs cereal, chips, pop. He needs all that. And I need my energy drinks. So I'm not going to have this taking me down from that much. And they took me all the way down to $120. Which they didn't even tell me why. I just got this notice in here. It says they were cutting me back on food stamps. So now I'm really going to have to cut back on everything. He's not going to be able to have his pop no more. He's not going to be able to have his cereal every day for breakfast and his chips that he eats all day long. Wow. Great. Thanks.
So apparently on September 5th, 2 million people approximately were cut off of EBT and food stamps. Baby, why are we celebrating that people are going hungry? Why are we celebrating that there are now 2 million people that will not be able to feed themselves? The big, beautiful bill is very ugly. In my opinion, it's very, very, very ugly. There are 3 things that should never be considered non-essential: food, healthcare, housing. Those 3 things should be accessible across the board, in my opinion. So why is it that all of these people are now going hungry and that's something to celebrate? Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous. This country is backwards.
Well, as y'all can see, food stamps has been cut. They have been cutting people food stamps off left and right today or whatever or whatnot. And I am so happy they are cutting people food stamps off. Y'all been sitting on these food stamps for 2-3 years. It's time to work. It's not fair to people who go to work every day. It's not fair to women who got multiple kids, but she go to work every day and she can't get food stamps. It's time, you guys. Y'all got to work. And it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. I'm happy that they're cutting food stamps. I'm happy. People, if you can work, you don't need food stamps. You can walk, you don't need food stamps. You can move your hands, you don't need food stamps. I said what I said. So are you guys happy they are cutting food stamps? And hold up. Now, if you disabled, I think they deserve food stamps. But if your ass can work, it just is what it is. Ain't no reason you should have been on food stamps for 5-6 years, boo. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. I approve that message. What do you guys think about the food stamps getting cut off? Drop a comment and don't be mad in my comments. Period.
Y'all are about to find out that food stamps don't buy candy anymore. Not soda, not ice cream, not a little sweet treat to get you through the hard week. None of that anymore. Y'all was so hyped talking about that big, beautiful bill and finally having some responsibility. Talking about they gonna crack down on waste. But now when you go to the grocery store to get that Snickers bar with that EBT card, denied. The 2-liter, denied. That pint of Ben & Jerry's after a hard day, gone. The joy, gone. But hey, at least billionaires are still getting tax breaks, right? It's interesting when they want to cut costs and get things in line, they always go to the poor people first. God forbid somebody poor wants a soda to go with their ramen. You wanted fiscal responsibility, but you ended up with a government that decided they don't even want you to have a piece of candy. And it's not going to stop there. It never does. Soon it'll be no meat. Then they're going to decide that poor people probably can't have seasoning either. So to all the MAGA people who cheered for this bill, when you're standing in line and that ice cream don't go through, just remember, it wasn't the woke mob that did that. It was your own people. You asked for this. Now, eat your sadness plain, room temp, no sugar.
Okay, hopefully someone here, hang on. Hopefully someone here can help me understand this. I have 7 kids, right? I get about almost $5,000 in child support. And I just received in the mail a letter saying that my food stamps is going to go down because I'm over the income for my household. When I was under the impression that it doesn't matter how much you're making with child support, you qualify for food stamps regardless. Like, I thought food stamps was a forever thing, right? So I've been on food stamps for the last, I'd say, 12 years, and I've never ran into problems like this. And mind you, I just had my baby about a year ago, and now all of a sudden they're trying to tell me that in order to be able to qualify for food stamps, I have to have another child. So that means I'm going to have 8 kids. And it's going to continue if they keep telling me that I need to have more kids in order to qualify for food stamps. And not only that, but my child support is going to continue to go up the more kids that I have. So I'm not understanding what they don't realize, that we kind of need these benefits, you know?
All right, folks, cuts to the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance, SNAP, often referred to as food stamps, have ignited a significant backlash, particularly among the MAGA voters, because the large portion of the cuts disproportionately affects them. This reaction stems from a disconnect between, the perception of these cuts as a crackdown on underserving people and the reality that they are impacting many programs' most vulnerable recipients, including those in rural and working class communities that form a core part of the MAGA base. Recently, you've seen that almost like 2 million people are going to lose their food stamps. They are going to lose their SNAP, okay? So many people are scared because it was a huge number that were depending on this SNAP, and they were really helping them in each and every day of their lives. But right now, as you've seen, DT's administration is or have plans to cut that, and 2 million people are going to lose that benefit. Now, the bigger part of the affected people are the MAGAs, mostly rural people and working class. So it means most of the MAGAs are in that class, and what they did, they voted against their own interest. As we speak right now, they're going to lose their SNAP benefits, which usually support them and their families. Now let's see the direct impact on rural and working class supporters. Many SNAP recipients live in rural areas and are part of the working poor and the demographic that heavily overlaps with the MAGA's base. These cuts directly affect the ability to afford food, creating a sense of betrayal. As we speak right now, MAGA is feeling the pain of that cut. Now, it comes to that question I usually ask the MAGA, are you really making it? Are you really making it great? Because right now it is affecting you. You don't have that benefits. You don't have that opportunity. You don't have, you guys, I don't understand why you vote so you reach to this extent you lose your benefits, the benefits you've been having for more years. Right now, in a moment of less than a year, you're losing it. So what were you thinking, MAGAs? So the new rules expand work requirements to a wider age range of adults, including those up to 64 years old, and to parents of teens in rural areas with few jobs opportunities and lack of public transportation or child care. These requirements are difficult, if not impossible, to meet. So now the new requirements MAGA will not meet. It's not only MAGA, many people, others are affected, but man, you MAGAs, you feel the pain because you're the one who voted for this. You're the one who caused this. So that's why you have to feel the pain. Now, there is a feel of betrayal, or is when the MAGAs are not seeing what they were expecting or what they used to have faded away from their hands. Imagine having food benefits, having snaps like this, and it fades from your hands. You no longer have access to it, and the requirements they have put, you are unable to meet those requirements. So you feel betrayal. So many DT voters saw him as a champion, okay, for the little guy and the leader who would protect them from political establishment. The cuts to vital social safety net programs filled a dialectic contradictions of his populist message. Yes, you may say we voted the guy to change our lives. We voted the guy to change the economy. But you guys, I would like to ask you, is this really the change that you wanted? Because you're not supposed to say that you're feeling betrayed because you voted for it and the guy have told you. He always told you. The thing that I remember well, he said he needed your votes. You guys, you've given your votes. So right now, you no longer have the control. He's the one in control. You trusted him. He's not delivering what you wanted. And he's also taking from you what you had. So you either feel betrayed or you feel like, I don't know, but it's you. You are the one who caused all this, and it is affecting you bigly. There is a perception among MAGA voters that the cuts are being used to pay tax breaks that primarily benefits the wealthy, a group they often feel is a part of the elite establishment. This creates a sense of hypocrisy and reinforces the belief that the system is rigged against them. Of course, what are you expecting? So the media and political rhetoric often portray SNAP recipients as lazy or taking advantage of the system. However, a significant portion of recipients are children, seniors, and people with disabilities. Okay, many MAGA voters may not realize that people in their own communities, including veterans and families with children, are heavily reliant on these benefits. Now, I get sad if I see a MAGA who voted against your own interest. You have children, you depend on the SNAP. Maybe your life have been depending on the SNAP for many years, and then right now you are crying. Right now you are like this. You don't know what's going on. You don't know your next step. You don't know what you're going to do. So it is very sad moment to face that reality, because you guys, you're the one who voted for it. Yes, you voted for it, so you have to face the consequences. So the people I can feel empathy, it is those people who didn't vote for it and you face such reality, man. I feel your empathy, because I don't know how I can say it, but it's a sad reality. In your own country to face such reality, in your own country to face such thing, it is so sad, because you've been depending on that benefit for many years and then it's already gone. So man, you feel sad. You feel sad. You feel very sad. So it is what it is, but it's not the end of your life. Keep it all going. Try again. Try many things, because right now they say people who depend on the SNAP are lazy, but seniors are not lazy. People with disabilities are not lazy. So why do you call like people who depend on the SNAP are lazy? They're not lazy. They are not lazy. Children are not lazy. They're not allowed to work. If they're able to work, they can go work and make their own money. So we can't say that these people are lazy. No, they are unable. So we should just listen to them, not just cutting things like the way they did. So food prices are a top financial stressor for many American families. Cutting SNAP benefits during the period of high inflation exacerbate the anxiety, making it harder for people to make ends meet and increase the risk of food insecurity. That's right. Yeah. Because the cuts also had the small and mid-sized grocery store and other business that rely on SNAP shoppers. Now, we're talking about SNAP benefiters, but they are SNAP shoppers. These are the people that were working or doing businesses in that process. They were helping people to get the food. Right now, how are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? They were depending on that. Man. So in rural towns, these businesses are a cornerstone of the local economy, and a reduction in SNAP spending can lead to a decline in sales, reduced hours, or even closure. So they might close. These businesses, they might close totally, completely. They close because of what? Because of cutting of SNAP. Because many rural people depend on this. So people have created businesses through that helps them to work. Okay? They were working. So if they close their businesses, how are they going to survive? How are they going to survive? Because the cuts shift the burden of providing food to non-profit organizations and food banks, many which are already struggling to meet existing demand. This puts pressure on local communities and reveals the fragility of the social safety net. So some voters who supported Trump and the Republican platform feel that they were promised perfection from these kinds of cuts. When the cuts are implemented, they feel betrayed and lied to by the very politician they voted for. MAGA. You're so funny. You're so funny. You should have thought about that before. Before doing any action, you should have thought about it, and you should have done something, reasonable. So, you've never cared about your life. You've never cared about your family. You depend on SNAP. Man, so sad. So losing SNAP benefits can have a devastating impact on physical and mental health. People may be forced to choose between paying for food or paying for other necessities, like medication or rent, which can lead to increased stress, chronic disease, and poor health outcomes, because these people, they don't have any other option. All right, folks, tell me, what do you think about this topic? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I am your presenter, Fikazo. Thank you for watching. Don't go without subscribing.